I know. I said I'd just take photos for the next little while, but I have one quick thing to point out. So, if you looked closely at the photos up above, you looked at the recipe and you looked at the ingredients. One of the ingredients you may have noticed, actually two of the ingredients you may have noticed. So this, you can see we've got, it's margarine. I almost always bake with margarine. The other thing you're noticing, if you were also looking at the recipe and everything, is that I'm using 2 eggs and a full cup of margarine, which means, if you're paying attention and you're doing math, that I am doubling the recipe. I've always doubled recipes. I don't really understand a recipe that only yields 3 dozen cookies. That just doesn't seem like enough. These we don't keep them in the house usually. They're usually going other places. But it just seems like more practical if you're going to have the oven on to go ahead and make a double batch and use the cookies for something else. Sending them out to people, giving them to your neighbors. They're a really good goodwill thing. It's also easier because for me, the recipe, when you're talking about a single batch, you're splitting the sugars, brown sugar and white sugar, to end up with 3/4 of a cup, which means you have to figure out 3/8 of a cup for each one. I don't have a 3/8 cup measure. I don't know if you do. So it's easier for me, quite frankly, to do 3/4 of a cup of each. And to do that, I double the rest of the recipe. So it's a little bit of a math cheat. But algebra, all that stuff. And so there you go. So now I'm gonna get back to the recipe, get back to some cooking. The oven's heating, so I wanna get that done, or I wanna get these done before that gets too hot. All right, I'll see you in a little while.